What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Islam Makhachev versus JDM confirmed for this year. Earlier today, Submission Radio interviewed Islam Makhachev's manager Ali Abdelaziz. During the interview, Ali revealed that Makhachev versus JDM is confirmed for this year. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. At the end of the day, the fight is done. But like I always, respectful to the promotion, it's their job. They didn't announce the fight, but I know this, by the end of the year, Australia going to have no champions. Later on in the interview, Ali revealed that Islam will never fight Khamzat Chimaev. First of all, Khamzat is too big. He could never make welterweight. And these guys know each other. They're from the same region. Honestly, it makes absolutely no sense. Renato Moicano believes Ilia Topuria would dominate Arman Tsarukyan. While nothing's been finalized yet, Renato Moicano believes that Ilia Topuria would dominate Arman Tsarukyan if the two wind up sharing the octagon. Earlier in the week, we reported that Topuria vs. Gaethje was set for UFC 322. That rumor turned out to be false, and for that, we'd like to apologize to our viewers. With nothing set for Topuria's first lightweight title defense, Renato Moicano weighed in on the possibility of a fight between Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan during a recent Portuguese-speaking interview with WELTERWEIGHT, explaining that he thinks Topuria would dominate Tsarukyan. I don't think Arman Tsarukyan is as good as people think. I think Topuria would screw him. I have nothing against Arman, but Arman isn't a guy I'd be friends with. In the meantime, Tsarukyan's set to compete in a grappling match on September 19th in Moscow. The match will be his third since his most recent UFC fight. However, based on an Instagram story post where the streaking contender posted a picture of his UFC locker along with the caption, "Soon, we may get some fight news sooner rather than later." While we're talking about Arman, it looks like Mateusz Gamrot was offered the grappling match against Arman. Gamrot wrote the following on X: "I got offered for a grappling match with Arman again. People want to see us fight each other. I think we should do it in the UFC first. Would you be interested in seeing Arman versus Gamrot?" UFC updates. Kicking off today's UFC updates, we got a new addition to the UFC Fight Night Rio card on October 11th. The card will now host a fight between Ricardo Ramos and Khan Ofli, with Ramos looking to bounce back from a loss to Chepe Mariscal in March, while Ofli will look to snap a two-fight skid. Additionally, Carlos Prates will not be on that card, despite his call-out at UFC 319. According to ESPN Brazil, the UFC now wants Prates to fight on the November card at Madison Square Garden, which certainly makes sense given his recent Instagram post where he wrote, "See you soon," along with the song New York, New York by Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett. Next up, we got a new addition to the UFC Vegas 110 card on November 1st, with Kevin Christian set to fight Billy Elikana. Christian will look to pick up his first win inside the octagon, while on the flip side, Elikana will be looking to build on a win over Ivo Aslan back in July. We also have a new addition to the UFC Vegas 111 card set for the week after, with Mayra Bueno Silva set to fight Jacqueline Cavalcante. The bout will see Silva look to snap a 3-fight skid, while on the flip side, Cavalcante will look to build on a 4-fight win streak that has seen her go undefeated in the octagon. We also have an update on Sean Strickland, who's looking to set up a fight before the end of the year. In a post on social media on Wednesday, Strickland wrote, "December, Vegas, get me on that card. My suspension will be up in November." And last but not least, the UFC has dropped the official UFC Perth poster. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Khamzat Chimaev is the greatest middleweight ever. Khamzat Chimaev has delivered on what many predicted he would do several years ago: win a UFC title. But has Boers also proven that he's the greatest middleweight ever? Well, according to one of the most respected coaches in the game, the answer is yes. Although Chimaev has had some setbacks since he joined the UFC in 2020, a nasty bout with sparked concerns about his fighting future. Boers has smashed nearly everyone he's faced. As a result, a lot of people predicted he would hoist the UFC's middleweight title. And Chimaev did so by dominating Dricus du Plessis with his wrestling at UFC 319. Well, in a follow-up video from Faraz Zahabi, the renowned tri-star coach outlined why he thinks Boers is the greatest 185er already. Khamzat is the greatest middleweight ever. He is the greatest middleweight ever. He just won the title. How could you say I say he's the greatest middleweight ever? Because I would put him against anybody in the middleweight division, and I would pick Khamzat any day. Israel Adesanya, Dricus du Plessis, Anderson Silva in his prime, forget about it. None of them can hold a candle to Khamzat. He takes them all down. He mauls each one of them. He's the Khabib of the middleweight division. He would beat every single middleweight, including Alex Pereira, very easily. If Pereira beats Magomed Ankalaev and Khamzat goes to 205, I'll tell you right now my pick. Khamzat beats Pereira quite comfortably, whether he finishes him or not. He'll do 5 rounds on top because you can't get tired in good positions. This is quite the statement, given that Chimaev has only fought at middleweight 5 times in the UFC so far, but it's certainly true that right now, there's no one in the division that would be the favorite to end his reign. And while reflecting on Chimaev's one-sided win over DDP, Zahabi said this: "I didn't think it was going to be one-sided as such. I thought Khamzat is going to do better because he doesn't have to do the weight cut. It's going to be at 185. I thought he was himself to make 170. That was a major problem for why he had gas issues." But what do you think of Zahabi's comments? Is Chimaev the middleweight GOAT? Diego Lopes responds to Gene Silva's takedown bet. Back in June, in response to a post of Diego Lopes working on his wrestling, Gene Silva offered the former title challenger a bet. "I bet my purse that you don't take me down. Go on, keep lying to yourself." Now, with their fight official for next month, Lopes was asked about the situation during an interview with MMA Fighting. "I didn't even see that. I'm only seeing this message 2 months later. Brother, leave him with this money. I don't want to make him have no money. Leave him with his money because I think he'll need the money, right? I don't think he'll try to take me down, man." Not understanding him or any of that. He might try, but like you said, if he takes me down, I have no problem being on the bottom. But I don't think he'll do that. He won't try to take me down. I'll be really surprised if he tries to take me down. I'm only seeing this bet comment now because you're showing me. Cool, let him be, man. I didn't go to Oklahoma to learn takedowns or anything specific for this fight. I went there to improve myself, to learn true wrestling. With Lopes looking to earn another crack at the title and Silva looking to keep the momentum rolling, it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Francis Ngannou's coach breaks silence on next MMA fight. Since parting ways with the UFC, Francis Ngannou has competed in just one MMA bout. During a recent interview with MMA Junkie, Extreme Couture's Eric Nixick spoke about what's next for the Predator. "We talk regularly, but we just talk as buddy. I know the Wilder rumor has been kicking around. I talked to him a couple days ago, but it was more about just life and family. I'll see him next week. I head out to Paris with Brad Tavares next week, and then I'll be able to spend a couple of days with Francis out there and get caught up on a lot of this stuff and see where he's at training-wise and what his next plan is. It sounds to me like he wants that Wilder fight, and I haven't heard much more about the MMA side at all, to be honest with you." As Nixick explained, he wants to see Ngannou return to MMA because he's seen the Predator's growth as an MMA fighter throughout his career. Despite all that, it sounds like there's no movement so far on an MMA bout. Ngannou versus Wilder may be what's next. Johnny Walker denies fake glove touch at UFC Shanghai. While Johnny Walker came under fire for what some fans deemed to be a fake glove touch in his fight against Zhang Mingyang, Walker denied the claim during an interview with MMA Fighting this week. As he explained, he and his team plan to go for an early takedown just like he did moments into the fight. "In fact, I didn't fake anything. I went there with my hand up because we had already touched gloves before the fight started. Touch gloves, each one back to their corner. And I wasn't even looking at his face anymore. I went there with my hand hanging and shot for a takedown. I didn't go there to touch gloves. I wanted to take him down, do that game. I shot an ugly takedown attempt, my head on the outside. He just moved to the side, and I went through like a cow. Then I pulled guard. I held him, defended a little bit, and went back to the feet again. I have good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu, but I haven't fought in a while. I had no timing either, but you'll see me wrestle more going forward, doing more jiu-jitsu, taking people down. I have some takedowns, but I really had no timing, but I'm back now." Following the win, Walker is now up to number 12 on the UFC.com light heavyweight rankings. Concerns rise for Darren Till for Luke Rockhold fight. Although we're just days out from Darren Till's boxing match with Luke Rockhold, Till has apparently still been dealing with a broken hand sustained in his last fight. During an interview with Bloody Elbow recorded on August 12th, Till admitted that his hand is still broken. "Luke can't take what Darren could take. I know this because all my coaches and everyone I've sparred around the gym knows how hard I hit with these gloves on. They were all asking, how did that man take that? Boulderhead. I mean, to be honest, my hand is still broken from the fight. That says everything about what is in that man's head because I knock people out for fun and I couldn't knock him out." Additionally, as Till told Seconds Out Live during a media day scrum on Wednesday, Misfits Boxing is trying to set up a bout between him and Andrew Tate. That's the next fight in December. Misfits are making that happen. Main event in, I think it was O2 Wembley. Me and Andrew Tate and fighting in December, UK. As Till also revealed to MMA Fighting this week, before agreeing to box Rockhold, he was looking to fight Nate Diaz or Jorge Masvidal. Obviously, Misfits owed me a big fight, a pay-per-view fight, so obviously they have to come through with a big name, which obviously Nate Diaz talked about a fight and whatever. Then they come with Luke, and I was happy with it. Nate Diaz was the one that called the fight. He named the time, place, date, weight, everything. I just said yes because obviously he's the bigger side. He's the A side, stuff like that. But then he pulled out, so I'm willing to fight any man. I actually FaceTimed Masvidal while he was in Thailand and asked him to take the fight. But he showed me his belly, and it looked like he was having a really good time. So I was like, maybe that fight doesn't happen. With fight week underway, Till and Dylan Dennis were notably seen chopping it up ahead of Saturday, with Dennis calling Till a Muay Thai legend.
He's a Muay Thai legend, so I actually want to ask him some questions so you guys can
Raja Jackson and Syko Stu updates. On the heels of Saturday's incident with Raja Jackson, Syko Stu is now awake and communicating again. On Wednesday, photos emerged of Stu awake and smiling with a bunch of friends in the hospital. Douglas Malo, the wrestler who jumped in to try and stop Raja this past weekend, also shared an update with TMZ Sports, confirming that Stu is awake and doing well. Rampage also clapped back at the MMA guru for his take on the matter, writing, "Say what you want about me, twist my words all you want. Hopefully none of your kids up bad enough to have people judge your parenting. When all is said and done, when justice takes place, no matter what happens, I'll still be a parent that loves all his kids. I'm allowed to complain about two human beings were involved in this incident, but hey, it's the internet, be yourself." As Rampage went on to explain during a kick stream on Wednesday, Raja has not been the same since his mom's death.
This don't got nothing to do with nothing that's going on. But all I'm going to say is that my son hasn't been the same since his mom got murdered. He hasn't, and I know that. And I've been trying to be there for him and make him laugh and cheer him up and everything. But I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what to do. And I know my kids. He hasn't been the same with me. Like, he's just been distant from me. Like, he want to be more of a man and more of this. I don't know how to deal with this.
Ahead of his boxing match on Saturday, Dylan Dennis also weighed in during an interview with MMA Fighting. To be honest, it's hard to watch, but in a way, he might have something wrong, maybe like anger problems, because why would he do that? Anybody who has trained or anyone that has a brain knows when someone's working. That'd be like me going with you right now, and you're like, I'm gonna pick you up and we're working. We're doing a WWE match. You could slam me on my head. I'm giving you my weight. So the guy obviously lets him pick him up, and then slamming him like that is ridiculous. First off, especially being a guy that's trained. I know he's only 0-1. Any person in WWE can do that to each other. People are acting like, oh, that's Rampage Jr. or something like that. The guy jumped up for you to carry his weight, and he's trusting you to take care of his body. And then he's throwing those shots. And I get you can kind of lay one in, but the first one was like a haymaker. He's trying to the guy, and it's just sad. Like, I don't understand what happened. So far, no criminal charges have been filed. But that didn't stop the MMA community from furiously calling out the LAPD for not arresting Raja Jackson. It's been 5 days since the incident happened on August 23rd, and while the LAPD says that an investigation is underway for felony battery, there still hasn't been an arrest made. With the video evidence that's circulating from Raja's livestream and other wrestlers publicly talking about the incident, fans can't believe that Raja isn't behind bars. Here's what the MMA community had to say about the situation. LAPD police chief, if you do not arrest Raja Jackson, I'm going to hire a lawyer to look into your department very closely. Is Raja Jackson behind bars yet, or is the LAPD dragging their feet because Raja is a person of color and he's been through a lot? What say you, Karen Bass LA? Can get some justice for a man that was brutally The evidence is online. Do your job. Rewatching that Raja Jackson video a week later is still sickening. How is he not in jail? Why have there been no charges filed against Raja Jackson? I want to see how much Rampage Jackson settled, paid Syko Stu, cause ain't no way Raja walking around like everything's normal. Bro, Raja needs to be behind bars. He literally told this chat before the indecent that he was gonna beat him up for real. Like, he needs genuine jail time, like 10 years minimum. Has Raja Jackson been arrested yet? Or are we just supposed to accept his abhorrent behavior as normal or legal? Raja Jackson is the son of a millionaire and almost beat a man to death in the wrestling ring. So much for socioeconomic factors. This animal hasn't even been arrested. Patiently waiting for the Raja Jackson arrested headlines. There's also a petition started to have the LAPD arrest Raja, and it currently has over 3,800 signatures as of this morning. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.